Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. It's Corner Spot and you know I'm your host, Sophia with the most. First off, let me start by saying today, happy Halloween to everyone out there. I hope you're getting your treats and your treats, whatever it is for you, trick or treats. I hope you're getting it. You are at Corner Spot. You know, this is where you meet with real love, real talk, and real people. Today, we have a very interesting and juicy story for you. We are actually going to walk you through the history of Halloween, like where did it all start from, to be precise. Where did it all start from? So, sit back, grab a cup of your favorite drink or a bottle of your favorite drink and join me as we explore today on the channel talking about Halloween, the history, the fun of it, how it has evolved, down the year, and yes, everything in between that makes a great Halloween holiday period. Yes, so today we gather to explore the fascinating history of Halloween, okay? A holiday that has captivated our imagination for centuries because, of course, it causes you to want to, look deep into your creative self, and come up with something amazing, something beautiful. Either you're choosing to dress as a vampire, a ghost, a werewolf, a wolverine, whatever it is, a witch, whatever it is you're choosing to dress as, whatever costume you're looking to recreate, because some people actually just recreate some certain costume, they recreate some certain legend in history, they recreate a particular monster, they recreate, the ghost of their late dead grandparents, or anything of such, from spooky to scary. Halloween has it all, guys. So whether you're looking to, create whatever, it brings you, it spurs your imagination, it spurs your creativity, it brings you to this place where you have to create how to make the most of what you have. That is, if you don't have enough money, of course, to purchase some of these costumes, because some of these costumes are readily available, in the store for you to get, while some of it are not. So if you're looking to create something new and you're looking for the costume and you've been to all the stores, you cannot find it, of course there is no absolutely no harm, in you trying to create or recreate a costume by yourself. In fact, you can later find out that you making that costume is much more scary, much more fun looking than, the people that actually go to the mall to buy their own costume directly. Yes, so for centuries, like literally for centuries past, people have been creating costumes, selling costumes, creating it for themselves, those that don't have money to go and buy, and they've been having a wonderful Halloween celebration. So, from its ancient origin to its modern day celebration, Halloween has evolved into a global phenomenon. Yes, you heard that right. It has evolved into a global phenomenon. Okay, what exactly is the roots of Halloween? Like, how did it all happen? How did it all begin? Like, who started it? Is it a particular ethnic group? Is it from a particular state it originated from? Is it a particular person? Is it due to somebody, that died, and probably came back to life or something? What is the overall idea of this Halloween exactly? What is it? So Halloween originated over 2000 years ago. Yes, you heard that right. Halloween originated over 2000 years ago in the ancient Celtic festivals. Yes, so it started from the ancient Celtic festivals, specifically Samhain. Yes, it's pronounced Samhain, rather Samhain. It's pronounced Samhain, but it is spelled as Samhain, but it is pronounced Samhain. So Samhain marked the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter, for the Celtic guys, So it's believed to be a time when the veil between the world of the living and the world of the dead is as its tiniest. It's a time where the veil that actually separates the people who are in the world of the living and the people who are in the world of the dead, is the tiniest. So any little thing can actually poke that veil. So it's very easy for you to cross over to the land of the dead if you're a living person, and it's easy for the dead people to cross into the land of the living, because that veil at that Samhain period of time, the veil is at its tiniest, its tiniest state is very fragile during that, particular state and time. So the Celts, of course, the Celtic people, you call them the Celts. So the Celts would light bonfires. They would wear several different scary costumes, and perform rituals, to ward off the spirits of the dead, because they believe that on Samhain, the spirits of the dead return to the earth, or to return to the world of the living, to seek connection with people, with living people, actually. So how interesting can this actually get, guys? How interesting can it get? I've heard of stories of living people, actually, having some sort of relations with dead people. Literally, I've heard of it. One of it even happened recently. A friend of mine was telling me about it. So that particular story that I actually heard left me scared, and got me wondering, because of course it was reported by a popular radio station in my city. And that radio station, I've been actually following their story. They normally do not report or give false news, or false story or fake stories. Yes, fake story. They normally don't, So every news you see them report on that radio station, every story you see them talk about is real, like it's legit. It's something that actually happened, which actually made it more spooky and much more scary for me. Like, okay, it's not like I've not heard of things like this before. Like, people die, and then they come back in human flesh, and then they get to live normal lives. Sometimes they even fall in love with humans that are not yet dead, living human beings, and enter into a relationship with them and get married to them and actually give birth to children. Yes, I've heard of things like this. Like, you know, my parents have told me of things like this, my elder ones. Of course, this is Africa, and there's a lot of superstitious belief. We still have people that are traditionalists, okay, that practice traditional religion, and they carry out some sort of rituals, and keeping they believe in keeping some sort of days, some sort of days are sacred, yes, and auspicious. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. Auspicious. Some particular days of the month or days of the week are auspicious days to them, wherein they tend to offer sacrifices, carry out some sort of ritual. So this kind of thing is not actually new per se to we Africans, especially here in Nigeria, of course. But this one sounds so scary. And it got me thinking that, oh my God, how could this have happened? And nobody picked the signal. Nobody thought, oh, this particular person is not a real human being. Nobody thought of it, you know. So quickly, I'm just going to share the story before we go back to our main gist for today, which is, of course, the history of Halloween. So actually, stories in line with Halloween, because Halloween has to do with ghosts, witches, vampires, monsters, and the rest. And of course, this story is about a ghost. So this particular story is about a man, okay, that died, a young man actually, that died. So let me throw this question quickly before I continue, because some people believe actually that if you die before your time, Like perhaps you're meant to die at 70 years old and you died at 30 years old. That's because it's not actually your time to die. Your ghost would actually um um you know your ghost will actually move or go to somewhere else and start a new life. Like your ghost would actually relocate. Perhaps you died, let's say somewhere in South Africa. Your ghost can actually relocate to Nigeria to start up a new life, and he would be living fine, if it's a he or if it's a she, whatever the ghost is, you know. So I'm wondering that this particular guy in the story actually died, okay? The guy died and he actually started living again. Like, of course, it's not where he died, it's not the same hometown or the place or the state or the city where he died. It's not there he actually started living a new life at. Of course, he relocated to another part of town entirely, you know and he started living, okay, he started living a new life. And that's not even the funniest thing or the most scariest thing. He started living a new life, and then he actually fell in love with someone. Yes, he did.
So yes, he actually relocated somewhere else, and he started living like a normal human being. He got a job, and he actually fell in love with someone. Now, this person he fell in love with was not, or rather, is not a dead person. This person he fell in love with is an actual living human being. Okay, and that's why we warn about transparency in relationship. I believe if you've been following our content on Corner Spot, if you've been following our content on YouTube, there are a lot of videos on our channel there at Corner Spot that talks about communication in relationship, effective communication, and being transparent, being open in a relationship. So this guy, actually, I don't know the kind of lie he told to this lady that he doesn't have a family member, and he doesn't have friends, and she believed him. Of course, he must have sold the lie so well to her. She believed him, and they got dating, and it actually got very serious, to the point that he proposed marriage. And of course, being the love of her life, she decided to marry him, unknown to her that she's actually marrying a ghost. So she married the guy, of course, and they started living together, and she got pregnant, okay, and actually gave birth to a child for this dead person. So how did she later find out that this guy was actually a ghost, and that it is a ghost she has been living with all this while? It's actually a particular day, of course, according to the way the story was reported on that radio channel that I'm telling you guys about. So they actually went to the market together. Of course, you go grocery shopping with your husband or your boyfriend once in a while. So it was one of those days they actually went to grocery shopping together, On getting to the market, they were together. On getting to the market, a particular woman just, stopped when she was trying to do something, okay? Once she was trying to do something, she saw the two of them. That's the dead man who is the husband to the lady, and the lady, she saw the both of them, okay? They were standing in front of a store, about to get something, and the lady saw the guy and recognized the guy like, no, this guy is a dead person. According to the report on that radio channel, this was how this woman, that was selling something, that saw them. This was how she screamed, like at the top of her voice, that, oh my God, like a literal scream. This guy is dead. This guy is dead. And immediately, his wife was trying to like look at him like, babe, can you hear what this woman is saying? Is she all right? Immediately she turned. She couldn't find the guy. That's her husband. She couldn't find him again. Literally, like, it literally disappeared. So there was commotion in the market. She was like, I can't find my husband. Where did he go to? He was just here right now. The woman started screaming and shouting, I told you this guy is dead. He died at so place. He's from so place and all that. So the woman was still trying to, tell them it's a lie. He's my husband. We've been married for so years. So they took her and they started asking some questions. Okay, where is he from? Do you know his state? Do you know his hometown? Have you met any of his family member? This was how she started putting one or two together, while she was narrating a part of the story. Like, no, when she actually asked him about his family, he told her he has lost every member of his family, He's the only surviving person, and he doesn't even have any close uncle around. All he has is one particular friend who is not in that city, but they normally talk. That is him and the friend, not even the friend and his wife, They normally talk. Then she was like, she had never suspected he's a ghost. But the only thing she can say is sometimes he's going to sit down alone in the city room and you can hear him having conversation with unseen people. Like he's just talking and he'll be laughing seriously. And when she comes to look at him like, who are you talking with? Or what are you doing? That he's just going to smile at her and say, no, he's just thinking out loud. So they actually told her that that guy is actually a ghost, that had died somewhere. So they actually told her that that guy is actually a ghost, that had died somewhere. So yes, things or stories like this actually happen. This one is actually a true story because, like I said, that particular station, they normally report only true and legit news. So it got me scared that there are actually things like this going on now. It got me really, really scared. Trust me, like, how is this even possible? How is this possible? So, guys, it's actually very, very possible, which makes you want to be very careful, when you are even in a relationship or looking to go into a relationship with anybody. Make sure as long or as far as the thing is getting serious, you know this person real origin. They don't just get to lie to you that they are from so place or all that sort of things. So back to our topic of discussion for today, of course. We are here talking about Halloween and the history of Halloween. Okay, so like I was saying, the Celts actually they were the one that began this practice, and they are doing it to ward off the spirits of the dead from the world of the living rather. Because when it gets to winter period after their harvest, they believe the veil between the world of the living and the world of the dead is at its tiniest level. Okay, so as the Roman Empire expanded, it merged its own festivals with the Celtic traditions. The Roman festival of Pomana, which is celebrating the harvest, and Feralia, which is honoring the dead, were incorporated into Samhain festival. They were incorporated together into Samhain festival. So, with the rise of Christianity, Samhain transformed into All Hallows Eve. Okay, it was first called All Hallows Eve at first, which was now later. It was now later given the name Halloween. The name Halloween from. So instead of All Hallows Day, they decided to give it the name Halloween. And of course, the Catholic Church designated, 1st of November actually as All Saints Day, as we all know it, followed by All Souls Day, which is November 2nd. But coming now to the medieval and Renaissance development time now, during the Middle Ages, of course, during the Middle Ages time, of course, Halloween spread throughout Europe. The tradition of souling emerged. And what do I mean by souling? This is where people actually honor the memory of their dead persons, like their dead loved ones. They honor their memory, where poor people also would receive food and drinks in exchange for praying for the dead. In Scotland and Ireland, guising emerge as well. Guising means disguising oneself in costumes. Okay, so they wear several costumes. Some can choose to dress like their late great grandmother, of course, or dress like some particular monster or something. Okay, people would disguise themselves as spirits and sing and tell stories or perform trick or treats. Now, coming to America and the United Kingdom, London to be precise, as the European immigrants, arrived in these places, Halloween gained popularity. The tradition of trick or treat, influenced the normal remote tradition of the Halloween, which is souling and guising. then it became widespread, as the actual citizens of the United Kingdom and America started participating as well in this tradition, in this Halloween festival. In the early 20th century, Halloween began to commercialize. What do we mean by began to commercialize? People actually started making costumes for sale. They would make costume for people to buy because they saw the interest of people in it was increasing. So they'll make costume. They'll make costumes of vampires, make costumes of witches, make different kind of costumes. You know, so it started commercializing and people were engaging in buying and selling. Companies began to capitalize on holidays, producing costumes, producing decoration, producing even candies and cakes, that represent some character or the other, that actually depicts this Halloween festival celebration. And today, Halloween is globally celebrated with diverse traditions and cultural twists. I don't know if you celebrate Halloween from where you're from, but as far as I'm concerned, here in Nigeria, it is not widely spread. Like, it's not even everybody that knows that today, 31st of October, stands for Halloween. Of course, I think some months back, no, it cannot be some months back because we have just one October in every year. I think last year, October, some of our celebrities actually took it upon themselves, to celebrate Halloween. You could see some of them, dressing in different costumes. People like what's this popular lady? This lady that owns this fashion empire, Tiana. People like Tiana, she's very good when it comes to creativity and all that. She actually decorated and made a Halloween costume for herself. Some of all these are actors as well, and even some Big Brother Ninja inmates as well. They participated in this Halloween that was last year October and took some incredible photo shots. And it was flying everywhere on the streets of Instagram. So let me know in the comment section, in your own place, in your own country, in your hometown, do you guys actually celebrate Halloween? Please let us know. So although it's not everywhere, that they do souling or guising, that is, they do it the way it is, the way it actually supposed to be. But some people actually do it, but some people add a twist to their own. They add a twist to their own. So from haunted houses to costume parties, the holiday has evolved into a multi-billion-dollar industry. Trust me, it is a multi-billion-dollar industry because some people make costumes generally, just for Halloween. Just for Halloween. So Halloween is a rich history, that spans across centuries. I mean, something that is over 2,000 years old. Of course, it is not a one day thing. So whether you participate in Halloween or you don't, I hope when you find yourself in an environment where they are celebrating Halloween, you respect their cultures, you respect their tradition, and you try to be happy. Even though you don't celebrate it or you don't buy the idea, you try to be happy, and warm towards the people that celebrate or that are celebrating the Halloween. So, blending ancient tradition to cultural influences to commercialization, as we celebrate this spooky season, let us remember the origins of this captivating holiday. Let us remember that this is what Halloween actually stands for, is respecting the soul of the deceased, the deceased people, the people that are already dead and gone, and of course bringing back memories of some legends, or some monsters, or some villains, however you put it, or whichever costume you actually choose to dress in. So yeah, that is the history of Halloween. So some of the things you should actually not forget, or rather some of the things you actually do not want to forget when it comes to Halloween and the celebration and the history. If someone even asks you, why is this so important? Why do you honor this festival? Why do you celebrate this festival? That is, of course, if you are someone that honors and celebrates Halloween. Some of the reasons you can give is, of course, the origin, first of all, the roots, to start with. So Halloween originated from the ancient Celtic festival Samhain, which we know, of course, is not the same spelling as the pronunciation. It is actually spelled Samhain, Samhain. And of course, another point to note is that Samhain marks the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter season, And of course, this season is believed by the Celts to be a period where the veil, between the world of the living and the land of the dead is at its tiniest. So the dead people can actually come into the world of the living. So that is why they perform this festival, some rituals, to actually ward off the spirits of the dead from amongst the land of the living. And of course, the Celts believe spirits of dead return on Samhain. They actually believe that. And of course, another point is the festival was later influenced by Christianity and it became All Hallows Eve. And All Hallows Eve was later shortened to Halloween. And another point is the tradition of wearing costumes for Halloween came from disguising oneself as spirits. And the trick or treat tradition originated from the practice of souling. And of course, carving pumpkins came from the Irish legend of Stingy Jack. Stingy Jack is a story you want to look up. Of course, we would be telling some of these stories on our platform here at Corner Spot on YouTube. So you want to stay tuned. If you're not yet subscribed, you want to subscribe to our channel so you can be getting all of these juicy updates. Halloween was brought to North America by the Scottish and Irish immigrants. And of course, modern Halloween celebrations combine ancient traditions with contemporary cultural influences. So here we have it. This is all what Halloween is about. Okay, so when next you are asked, I hope you do not forget what Halloween is. Now here is a little short story of how some persons actually found love in celebrating Halloween. Okay, pay attention, it's actually a very interesting one. So it was Halloween night in a small town of Willow Creek. The streets were alive with ghosts, goblins, and witches, all gathered for the annual costume party. Amidst the chaos, two strangers, Emily and Ryan, crossed paths. Emily, dressed as a Victorian vampire, was handing out candy at the local haunted house. Ryan, a handsome werewolf, stumbled upon the attraction. Searching for a friend, their eyes met and the spark was undeniable. As they chatted, Emily learned Ryan was new in town and she offered to show him around. They strolled through the decorated streets, laughing and sharing stories. The crisp autumn air and festive atmosphere drew them closer. At the town square, they joined a group of revelers dancing to monster mash music. Ryan took Emily's hand and they twirled under the festival moon. The connection was palpable. As the nights wore on, they discovered shared passion for horror movies and, of course, pumpkin pie. Emily invited Ryan to join her for a post-party coffee, after the main party, that is, and he accepted. Over steaming cups, they delved deeper into each other's world. Ryan revealed his love for writing scary stories, and Emily shared her talent for painting airy landscapes. So they were actually compatible, you can say, because the one thing you want to look out for in relationship is to be dating or be involved in a relationship with somebody who is compatible with you. The conversation flowed effortlessly. Okay, as the evening drew to a close, Ryan walked Emily home, the jack-o'-lanterns casting a warm glow on their path. They paused at her doorstep, hesitant to pass. "I had an unforgettable night," Ryan said as his eyes locked onto hers. "Me too," Emily replied, her voice barely above a whisper. Ryan leaned in and their lips met in a gentle, spooky, sweet kiss. From that Halloween night on, Emily and Ryan were inseparable. They celebrate each October 31st together, surrounded by the magic of the season, grateful for the chance to encounter each other and the chance for Halloween that brought them together. So that is the end of our Halloween story. If you actually have had this experience, perhaps falling in love on the Halloween festival day, Or perhaps it's the total opposite. Somebody broke your heart on the Halloween festival day. Please let us know. Share your story. We'll be interested to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Drop a like, drop a comment. This is Corner Spot, and I am Sophia. I remain your host with the most. Don't forget to keep loving and keep doing you.